I think they really came out really well, the Tactics, in that first half, and I think, you know, it was a real grind for both teams. It was really defensive, but it wasn't until that second half that the Pulse really took over. 31-19 was the score to the Pulse in that second half. Lots of reflection, obviously, for the Tactics, but very promising, great start, but how can they continue, you know, with that momentum going into that second half next time?
Was the change for the Pulse the fact that they started playing with a bit more length? All of a sudden that ball was getting let go.
Yeah, absolutely. They played with real width as well as length, and it just really drew those Tactics defenders apart. What is a real strength of the Tactics is the way that they work together on defence, so that really did pull them apart and create a lot more space in there for those Pulse shooters especially.
And in the middle, Claire Kirsten, she taking nothing away from Katrina Rori as Player of the Day, but this lady was instrumental in the midcourt.
Yeah, she is. She is just so strong, she's so steady, and she's just that really calming influence in that centre position. She allowed Maddie Gordon to get into the game and work herself into it because she was always going to be there. She was always an option. And she had 31 circle edge feeds, which was more than anyone on the court. She was just had that ability to just wait for that last second for that ball to open up into that shooting end.
Yeah, her experience really shone through today. But if we look now at the Tactics, their defence, we've talked a lot about Temalisi, her return, but she was good. And I love seeing Jane Watson out at goal defence. She's pretty pivotal on attack as well.
Yeah, a lot of work from those defenders coming through the court because it was getting quite stagnated in that middle third. But yes, let's talk about this defence, Dean. They started really strongly. The switches were really good in there. They worked together. As you say, there was a lot of voice and a lot of communication. Just felt in that second quarter they got a little bit quiet, and I think Jane Watson said they kind of worked in isolation as opposed to together. So that's, you know, a really key area that they can actually improve on really easily. But yeah, all in all, a solid effort on defence. They got plenty of ball. It was just finishing it off down the other end.
Well, let's talk about down the other end. Ellie Bird, the last two seasons, she's really stood up each time she's come out on court. What did you make of her combination with Tapaya?
Yeah, well, I think it's one that's going to grow as the season continues. They're both tall timber, and, you know, it takes a little bit of getting used to, you know, the movement of Tapaya, how she enters the circle, and then also how Ali can find space in that back pocket. In that third quarter, she started to. There was about 3 in a row that went really well, but I just think they need to do it more consistently.
Yeah, well, we've seen there Ellie Bird, and you can see the score up in that corner. It was 53-41.